The automotive world is changing. Faster than a supercar on a track. The old order is being challenged. A new power is rising. That power, my friends, is China. Forget smoky factories and cheap knockoffs. China is not playing catch-up anymore. They're in the lead. They're winning the electric car war, and the rest of the world is struggling to keep up. This isn't just about national pride, though there's plenty of that going around. It's about the future of mobility, jobs, technology, global dominance. The stakes couldn't be higher, so buckle up, petrol heads, because things are about to get interesting. We're talking about a fundamental shift in the automotive landscape, one where the old rules no longer apply. The internal combustion engine, the heart of the car for over a century, is being challenged. And China is leading the charge with a potent mix of government support, technological innovation, and sheer ambition. Are you ready to see how the dragon is taking the wheel? What's happening in China isn't just about building cars, it's a revolution. A silent one, powered by lithium-ion batteries and electric motors. It's a revolution driven by a government that sees the future and is determined to be a part of it. And it's a revolution that's happening at a pace that's got the rest of the world scrambling. Gone are the days of smoky skies and choking pollution. China's pushing for cleaner air, and electric vehicles are a big part of that plan. They're investing heavily in renewable energy to power these cars, creating a greener future for their citizens. This is a China we haven't seen before, a China looking towards sustainability. But it's not just about the environment, this is about economic dominance. China's aiming to control the entire electric vehicle supply chain, from battery production to car manufacturing. They're pouring money into research and development, attracting the best and brightest minds to make it happen. They're not just building cars, they're building an entire industry, and they're not afraid to flex their muscles on the global stage. Let's talk numbers, shall we? Because in the world of cars, numbers tell a story, and the story they're telling about China is one of staggering growth and dominance. In 2023, China produced and sold more electric cars than the rest of the world combined. Let that sink in for a moment. Over 6.8 million electric vehicles were sold in China in 2023. That's more than double the number sold in Europe, the second largest market. The US, once a leader in the automotive world, they're lagging behind, struggling to keep pace with China's electric surge. These numbers aren't just impressive, they're a wake-up call. And it's not just about sales. China's also home to the world's largest electric vehicle charging network. Imagine driving across a country dotted with charging stations, never having to worry about range anxiety. That's the reality in China today. They're building the infrastructure to support this electric revolution, something the rest of the world is still figuring out, so the numbers don't lie. China is winning the electric car war. But how did they get here? The Chinese government doesn't mess about. They set a target, and they go for it full throttle. Go electric or get left behind. This isn't just talk, it's backed by policies. They want millions of high-quality, innovative electric vehicles. This is about making China a global electric vehicle powerhouse. China understands that you need more than just ambition to build a world-leading industry. You need cold, hard cash, and they've been splashing it around like a drunken sailor on shore leave. We're talking billions of dollars in subsidies for electric vehicle buyers, making these cars more affordable for everyday Chinese citizens. These subsidies aren't just for consumers, they're also available to manufacturers. Companies developing electric vehicles and their components are being showered with government money. Research and development, manufacturing facilities, you name it, the Chinese government is throwing money at it. And it's not just direct funding. They've also created a complex web of tax breaks and incentives to make investing in electric vehicles more attractive. This is about creating the perfect environment for the electric vehicle industry to flourish, and they're not afraid to spend big to make it happen. This financial muscle is giving Chinese companies a significant advantage over their global rivals. It allows them to invest heavily in research and development, to bring new models to market faster, and to offer them at more competitive prices. China isn't just throwing money at the problem, they're creating an entire ecosystem to support the growth of the electric vehicle industry. They've made it easier for electric vehicle companies to list on the stock market, attracting billions of dollars in investment. They've streamlined the regulatory process, making it faster and easier for companies to get new electric vehicles approved and on the road. This means less red tape and fewer bureaucratic hurdles to jump through. It's about creating an environment where innovation can thrive. And they're not stopping there. They're investing heavily in research and development, creating world-class facilities and attracting top talent from around the globe. They're building battery factories, electric motor plants, and research centers at a breathtaking pace. This is about more than just building cars. It's about building a complete electric vehicle supply chain, from mining the raw materials to producing the finished product. They want to control every aspect of the process, reducing their reliance on foreign companies and securing their position as a global leader. China's not just making it easy to buy and build electric vehicles, they're making it a no-brainer to own one. Forget about fighting for parking spaces in crowded city centers. In many Chinese cities, electric vehicle owners get preferential parking, often for free. And then there's the holy grail free charging. That's right, in some places you can juice up your electric vehicle without paying a penny. They're even experimenting with things like electric vehicle-only lanes, making your commute quicker and smoother. But it's not all carrots and no sticks. They've also introduced restrictions on gasoline and diesel cars in some cities, making it more difficult and expensive to own and operate them. This is about sending a clear message: the future is electric, and if you want to keep up, you better get on board. These policies are having a real impact on the ground, encouraging people to ditch their gas guzzlers and embrace the electric revolution. They're creating a virtuous cycle, where increased demand leads to more investment, more innovation, and even more demand. While the West was busy tinkering with hybrids, China went all in on electric. This bold move has given birth to a new breed of automotive giants, companies you might not have heard of yet, but soon will. These aren't just copycats, these are innovators, pushing the boundaries of what electric vehicles can be. Take BYD for example. They're not just building electric cars, they're building electric buses, trucks, and even trains. They've got their fingers in every pie, and they're doing it all with cutting-edge technology. Then there's NIO, the Tesla of China, known for their luxurious electric SUVs and innovative battery-swapping technology. And let's not forget about XPeng. With their focus on autonomous driving and smart features, they're putting the smart in smartphone on wheels. These companies are hungry, they're agile, and they're backed by a government that's willing to let them take risks and challenge the status quo. The result? A wave of new electric vehicles hitting the market, each one more impressive than the last. From sleek sedans to futuristic SUVs, China's electric dragons are ready to take on the world. In the electric vehicle game, batteries are everything, and China knows it. They've been strategically investing in battery technology for years, and now they're reaping the rewards. They control a massive chunk of the global battery supply chain, from mining the raw materials to manufacturing the finished product. They're not just churning out batteries, they're at the forefront of battery innovation. We're talking about longer ranges, faster charging times, and lower costs. They're developing new battery chemistries like lithium iron phosphate batteries that are safer, more durable, and less reliant on expensive materials like cobalt. This dominance in battery technology gives Chinese companies a significant advantage. It means they can build electric vehicles with longer ranges and lower prices than their competitors. And with battery costs continuing to fall, electric vehicles are becoming increasingly affordable for everyday consumers. This is a game changer, folks. It's not just about building better cars, it's about controlling the most critical component in the electric vehicle revolution. And China is sitting pretty on the battery throne. But it's not just about the hardware. China understands that in the 21st century, software is king, and they're pouring resources into developing cutting-edge software for their electric vehicles. We're talking about everything from sophisticated battery management systems to advanced driver assistance features. They're integrating their electric vehicles with the latest in artificial intelligence, making them smarter, safer, and more connected. Think voice control, over-the-air updates, and even autonomous driving features. Chinese companies are partnering with tech giants like Baidu and Huawei to develop self-driving systems that can rival anything coming out of Silicon Valley. This focus on software is giving Chinese electric vehicles a competitive edge. These aren't just cars, they're rolling computers, constantly learning and evolving. They're packed with features that appeal to tech-savvy consumers, and they're setting a new standard for what an electric vehicle can be. And with their vast pool of software engineers and a rapidly growing tech sector, China is well positioned to maintain its lead in electric vehicle software development. From concept to reality, speed demons. Another ace up China's sleeve is speed. They're not afraid to try new things, to fail fast and iterate quickly. While traditional automakers are bogged down in bureaucracy and legacy thinking, Chinese companies are moving at lightning speed, bringing new models to market at an astonishing pace. They've embraced a Silicon Valley-style approach to innovation, constantly testing, learning, and improving. This rapid development cycle allows them to respond quickly to changing market demands and stay ahead of the competition. They're not afraid to experiment with new designs, new technologies, and new business models. This agility is giving Chinese companies a significant advantage in the fast-moving world of electric vehicles. While their Western counterparts are still trying to catch up, Chinese companies are already on to the next big thing. The world has taken notice of China's electric vehicle revolution. International automakers are now scrambling to catch up, investing heavily in their own electric vehicle programs. They're setting ambitious targets, building new factories and launching new models, all in an attempt to keep pace with the Chinese dragons. But it's not just about competition, it's about collaboration. Chinese companies are forming partnerships with international players, sharing technology and expertise. They're investing in overseas production facilities, bringing their electric vehicles to new markets. The electric vehicle revolution is a global phenomenon, and China is at the forefront. Their success is inspiring others to follow suit, accelerating the transition to a more sustainable future. This is about more than just selling cars, it's about changing the world. Imagine this, you're cruising down a highway, the sun setting over the horizon, casting a warm glow on your electric car. No range anxiety here. In China, charging stations find you. They're everywhere. Parking lots, malls, scenic spots. China's electric highway is vast and comprehensive. Millions of chargers from superchargers to destination chargers. This is infrastructure on a mind-boggling scale. Section 2, plugged in, from megacity to mountain village. Think China's electric ambitions stop at the megacity limits? Think again, they're wiring up the entire country from Shanghai to the Himalayas. Charging needs to be accessible to everyone, everywhere. In cities, they're installing charging stations in residential areas and public spaces. They're also bringing charging to rural areas, ensuring even remote villages can enjoy electric mobility. This commitment to universal charging access is a game changer. Section 3, Power Play Fueling the Electric Dragon. Now you might be thinking, all those electric cars, that's a lot of electricity. Can China's grid handle it? It's a valid question, but the Chinese government has been planning for this. They're not just building electric cars, they're building the energy infrastructure to power them. We're talking about a massive investment in renewable energy sources like solar, wind, and hydroelectric power. They're building gigantic solar farms, harnessing the power of the sun to fuel the electric revolution. They're erecting wind turbines along their vast coastlines, capturing the energy of the wind to power their electric dreams. They're also upgrading their power grid, making it smarter, more efficient, and more capable of handling the increasing demand from electric vehicles. They're implementing smart grid technologies that can balance the load, optimize energy distribution, and integrate renewable energy sources seamlessly. This is about more than just keeping the lights on. It's about creating a cleaner, greener, and more sustainable energy future. And electric vehicles are a key part of that vision. Section 4. The grid: China's electric backbone. China's building a smarter grid. Managing millions of electric vehicles is a challenge turned opportunity. The smart grid adapts and optimizes in real time. It determines the best time to charge your car. This saves money and balances the grid. Utilizing renewable energy sources, electric vehicles become active participants, enhancing grid stability and resilience. The future is exciting. The US, stuck in the slow lane, the land of the free, home of the brave and birthplace of the automobile? But in the electric revolution, they're playing catch-up, powerful but out of their element. Tesla shook up the industry. Traditional automakers are catching up, but they're still behind. Europe playing catch-up. Europe, the land of cobblestone streets, high-speed trains, and a deep-seated concern for the environment. They've always been ahead of the curve on things like fuel efficiency and emissions standards. But when it comes to electric vehicles, even they are struggling to keep pace with the Chinese dragon. They've got ambitious targets, aggressive emissions regulations, and some of the world's most innovative automakers. But they're also hampered by bureaucracy, fragmented markets, and a lack of coordination at the European Union level. While China's been busy building a unified charging network, Europe is still grappling with different charging standards, payment systems, and grid infrastructure. It's a bit like trying to build a superhighway with different-sized lanes and toll booths every few miles. They're making progress, but it's slow, and the Chinese aren't standing still. They're investing heavily in Europe, building factories, setting up research centers, and flooding the market with their electric vehicles. So what's the difference between China's approach and that of the US and Europe? In a nutshell, it comes down to this. China has a plan, a big, bold, and coordinated plan. They've set a clear direction, backed it with significant government support, and created an environment where the electric vehicle industry can thrive. The US and Europe, on the other hand, have been more reactive, more fragmented in their approach. They're trying to steer the electric vehicle market with a series of nudges and incentives, while China is using a firm hand on the wheel, guiding the industry towards its electric future. This difference in strategy is evident in everything from charging infrastructure to battery technology to government policies. China's playing the long game, investing heavily in the future, while the US and Europe are still trying to figure out the rules of the game. But perhaps the most significant difference lies in innovation. China's not just building electric cars, they're building the future of mobility. They're investing heavily in research and development, attracting top talent, and fostering a culture of innovation in their electric vehicle industry. They're not afraid to experiment, to try new things, to fail fast and iterate quickly. They're pushing the boundaries of what's possible with electric vehicles, from advanced battery technologies to self-driving systems to connected car features. The US and Europe, while still home to some of the world's most innovative companies, are in danger of falling behind. Their traditional automakers, weighed down by legacy thinking and bureaucratic structures, are struggling to keep pace with the speed and agility of their Chinese counterparts. This innovation gap is a cause for concern. If the US and Europe want to compete in the electric vehicle race, they need to up their game, invest in innovation, and embrace the bold, ambitious thinking that's driving China's electric revolution. So there you have it. China's electric dragon is breathing fire, leaving a trail of burnt rubber and shattered expectations in its wake. They've got the numbers, the technology, the infrastructure, and the sheer willpower to dominate the electric vehicle market. This isn't just a passing fad, a blip on the automotive radar. This is a seismic shift, a fundamental realignment of the global automotive landscape. And like it or not, the world is going to have to adapt. The days of the internal combustion engine are numbered. The future is electric, and China is writing the rule book. They're not just building cars, they're building an entire ecosystem, a new paradigm for mobility in the 21st century. But this isn't the end of the story, it's just the beginning. The race to electrify our roads is far from over. The question now is, can anyone catch the dragon? The electric car war is far from over, but one thing's for sure, China's in the pole position. They've shown the world what's possible when you combine government ambition with technological innovation and a relentless drive to succeed. The rest of the world has a choice to make. adapt, or be left behind. The US and Europe, with their rich automotive heritage and innovative spirit, are more than capable of competing in this new era of electric mobility. But they need to act decisively, to embrace bold solutions and to invest heavily in the technologies of the future. The stakes couldn't be higher. This isn't just about selling cars, it's about economic dominance, technological leadership, and ultimately, shaping the future of our planet. So buckle up, folks, because the electric revolution is just getting started and it's going to be one hell of a ride.